on Doctor's Diaries.
Even though you have all this advanced training and all this advanced skill, we aren't God and we can't save everybody.
As I start cutting his cornea off, that is a very anxious time.
Just think he's too young to die.
Most people just drive by accidents like this one. But not Debbie Becker. She's part of Stat Flight, an elite rescue team. Right now, she's rushing to a monstrous car accident. A tractor trailer flipped over and landed in the oncoming lane, crushing a teenager's car. Often, how fast Debbie can get to the scene is the difference between life and death. And if she sounds calm and collected, that comes from experience.
You gotta act like, oh no, everything's fine, I'm cool, I got it under control. Meanwhile, you're really, inside, that anticipation is there.
Hi, how are you? Hi.
17, 18-year-old female driver restrained in a car, tractor trailer kind of rolled on top of her. She's awake and alert, answering all questions, complaining of pace.
She's still in the car?
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't really done. She's only on oxygen and follow right now.
Okay.
We're still trying.
Oh, okay.
She's high school, so 17, 18.
Okay.
Great.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Hi. What's your name?
John.
Hi, John. I'm Debbie.
Restrained passive driver for this car.
Okay.
Okay. As you can see, plenty of patient department intrusion.
Okay.
When we got there, she's complaining of shoulder pain right now. We got full neuros on her.
Okay. What's her name?
Lydia.
Lydia, how old are you? 16? Okay.
You kind of go into this automatic mode. It's not a male, it's not a female, it's not my mother, it's not my brother. You don't let it relate to anything.
The most important thing was to make sure she was okay, to get her into the, into the helicopter pretty quickly and get her to the medical center.
Lydia! How you doing?
Hi, Wendy. It's Chris from Dr. Zaidman's. We got the cornea.
The first time Wendy Troche held her son, she noticed a small gray speck in his eye. Doctors say unless the corneal transplant scheduled for today goes well, 4-month-old Juan Enrique will never see out of his left eye.
The left eye, he cannot see at all because that cloudy, that dot there doesn't permit light, and so he really can't see.
The corneal transplant is being performed by Dr. Gerald Zaidman.
A child who's born with a problem, like Juan Enrique, is a much trickier and much more complex and much more delicate situation, because if you don't do something relatively rapidly to restore their vision, then they can't develop it at all.
No.
Before Juan Enrique's surgery begins, Dr. Zaidman asks for a blood sample.
We did two things on him. One, we just did a regular finger stick for a blood count, but we also took a specimen of his blood for genetic analysis. I've been working with some researchers across North America for years to try to see if we could find out what is the cause of these corneal birth defects in children. And we've been collecting blood specimens from them and sending it on for genetic analysis.
We need the baby now. I'm not even worried about the blood. Okay. Everything comes off, and you're going to put this gown on him open to the back.
I tell all the patients when we're about to embark on doing a corneal transplant on a baby that we're starting a marathon. It's very emotional. I have a tendency sometimes to, I don't want to say I fall in love with the children, that would be an exaggeration, but I do become very, very fond of the children, their siblings, their parents, and many times we develop very, I won't say close, but not your classic doctor-patient relationships.
Is he gonna be staying tonight, or?
That's not my plan.
Okay.
My plan is for you guys to go. You have staying in the Bronx, aren't you? Someplace
Yes.
in the Bronx? Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
the
can-
plan would be, if everything goes smoothly, when the surgery's done, and when the nurses feel that he's awake and alert enough, you go home, and you bring him back first thing in the morning. Ready to take a look at his eye. Okay. We won't see too much in the morning, because usually the baby's eyes are pretty swollen right after the surgery, and we'll just take the dressing off, just see if we can get a glimpse.
Okay.
Okay? Yes. All right, so let me make sure we can get things rolling. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, great. Well, hopefully, if you look at his eye, this will be one of the last times that I'll see that little white dot, and probably he'll be able to see a little bit of me in that eye. That's what's going through my mind right now.
A 16-year-old girl is being rushed to the emergency room after her car was crushed by an oncoming truck. Nurse Debbie Becker is concerned that she may have serious internal injuries.
Lydia, where does it hurt?
During the transport, you want to let the patient know what's going on, because it can be a very, very scary thing. They're laying on their back, tied to this board, and I always try and put myself in that patient's shoes. The biggest thing I think about nursing or any job in the health profession is to have empathy, and I think once you're able to do that, then it kind of dictates you, and you begin to practice in a certain way. So you always try and talk to them. By talking to her, I could tell where she was at.
What is it? What? Your mouth? Lydia, deep breath, breathe. Lydia, deep breath.
Doesn't really end until you have the patient, you drop the patient off in the ER. Because you're constantly reassessing, constantly looking at vital signs, constantly talking to the person, constantly thinking in your head, is there anything else I need to do, anything that I could do to get her to the hospital in the best shape that she possibly can.
Lydia, you're 16 years old? And you're not allergic to any medicine? Okay. What hurts you the most right now?
Your mouth.
Your what?
Mouth.
Your mouth, okay. Lydia, when we get you into the emergency room, there's going to be a lot of people there, okay? To take care of you. What you need to do is talk to them just like you're talking to me, okay? Make sure you tell them everything. Her vital signs were good for us. Complaining really of, complaining of left shoulder, left chest pain, and mouth. I don't know, she might have a jaw. It took 20-minute extrication time. 20 minutes to get her out, the whole top. They had to...
Doctors will take over from here. Debbie's job is done. She has to prepare for the next call.
So I think she's going to end up being very lucky.
For more information, log on to our website. Wendy Troche holds her son, Juan Enrique. His corneal transplant is just minutes away.
Anytime you do a corneal transplant on anybody, particularly a child, on anybody, the major complication is the body can reject the cornea. Corneas are rejected in about roughly 10% of all the patients, but in children, in babies, it's much higher than that. In babies, the rejection rate can be as high as 30, 40, or 50%.
I'll show you where to wait. I'm not sure exactly where Dr. David was.
No, not next week. The week after.
Is this baby perfectly paralyzed? 100% paralyzed?
Yes.
Fine. So, see if that ring should be the right size.
What does the ring do?
It helps stabilize the eye. Okay, suture. Doing the surgery on a child is much tougher than an adult. First of all, it's smaller. Secondarily, the parts of the eye haven't fully developed, so besides being smaller, they're different. And there are complications that can occur in operating on infants that don't occur in adults. And you just have to be prepared for those complications. So you can see the donor cornea. We don't use a whole eye. What ends up happening is when somebody dies, the eye bank from which this comes harvests just the front surface of the cornea. We don't need the whole cornea for transplantation. We only need a portion of it. So I'm going to basically punch out that portion that I need. So that's the donor right there. That's what's left over. Okay, visco and room lights off. They don't do anything quite yet. This is obviously oozing and bleeding a lot. I'm going to have to move very fast now. The scariest time, as I start cutting his cornea off, that's when I'm sure if you put a monitor on me, you'll find my pulse rate goes up, my respiratory rate goes up, my blood pressure goes up. That is a very, I don't want to say very scary, but well, it is, it's always scary. That is a anxious, anxious, anxious time. Suture scissor in one hand and the irrigator in your other hand. I'll tell you when to cut, we're not ready yet. Load another piece of 9/0 backhand, please. So once I get these 4 stitches in, I can then relax. Now, the good thing about this child so far appears to be that other than his cornea, I mean, he doesn't seem to have a cataract, and hopefully when we look into his fundus will be okay also. Much to my hopefully pleasant surprise, seems to have a very clear lens. And that's the thing that I find so fascinating about so many of these children. Bench on, it doesn't have to be sterile, the indirect ophthalmoscopy. Wet the eye. Okay, so that looks great. Looks perfect. Went perfect. Can't go any better than this. You know, I don't want it to, I'm jinxing myself by saying that. No, but the operation went as well as one could expect. Mom will be happy, Dad will be happy, I'll be happy, he'll be happy. That's the most important thing.
Hi, it's Debbie from STAT Team. You understand we have a transport for us?
Last night, 9-year-old Sarah Thomas swallowed a quarter. When her mother brought her in to the neighborhood clinic, doctors there decided that removing it required the specialized skills of the staff at Westchester Medical Center. So they called Debbie Becker. This morning, she's rushing Sarah to the emergency room.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, sweetheart.
It's okay, it's okay.
Sarah's mother is not yet at the hospital, although everyone expects her to arrive shortly.
All right?
Sweetheart.
She's alone. She's scared. No, she's just tired. She doesn't like to talk because it
hurts.
It hurts her. Cute little thing. And she's been a good girl the whole flight. What? You thirsty? You hungry? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I don't know the story.
You want something to drink?
That whatever story.
Well, let me ask them.
I got here.
Well, she wants something to drink, but...
No, not yet. Okay, not yet, lovey. Not yet. Okay, baby.
She now waits for a pediatric specialist to arrive.
Bye, Sarah. I'll see you later, okay? I'll come bring you a helicopter pin. All right, sweetheart.
An hour ago, Dr. Gerald Zaidman finished Juan Enrique's corneal transplant.
Hi. Hey. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
How are you?
My hands are
You're holding this. Hello, hello. How are you? He did great. Surgery was perfect. No problems. The only problem that I could see in his eye were two things. One was that the cornea was bad, which we knew about, and two was that there was scar tissue at the edge of the eye, but I was able to break most of that. Juan has one perfectly normal right eye. He has his left eye in which there's a corneal scar. So his right eye right now is so far ahead of development in terms of his left eye that it is almost impossible for the two eyes to catch up with each other. So he will probably always have a slight visual deficit in his left eye. You come into the office tomorrow morning at 8:15. First thing in the 8:15. First thing in the morning, we'll take the dressing off the eye and start from there. Okay? Okay. So everything's great. Couldn't be better.
Thank you very much.
Take care of yourself. Okay, bye-bye. Be good. Don't cry too much. You're not that uncomfortable. But that's how I know babies, that's how they communicate. They don't know anything else.
Hungry.
I'm sure he's very hungry. Okay? All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Sarah Thomas has been in the emergency room for more than 2 hours with a quarter stuck in her throat. Everyone is still waiting for her mother to arrive. The hour that her mother needed to drive to the hospital has long since passed, and the doctors are concerned.
The grandmother's number, there's no answer. I called Vassar to double check, that's the same number.
Maybe she knows her phone number. Did you ask her?
No, I didn't.
Do you know your phone number by any chance? Okay, hold on. Can you please tell me? Okay. Okay.
Dr. Gustavo Stringle, a pediatric surgeon, has worked with children for 10 years. He's still waiting for Sarah's mother.
We don't have consent to do the procedure. Unfortunately, we need to wait for mother or father. As she told you that father doesn't live in the same house apparently, so we can get him.
You know, I'm so used to them not talking. I didn't even think of it.
Isn't that amazing, right? I should have been a detective, I guess.
Should have.
There, Sarah Thomas.
Hi, this is a message for the family members of Sarah Thomas. This is Dr. Chang from the Westchester Medical Center, and we're looking for any parents who could be sent for an endoscopy to remove the foreign object.
Okay, you sit back, sweetie. Yes, you can after they get that quarter out.
So if we don't get consent from mother, if for some reason she doesn't come in the next few minutes, we're going to proceed anyways, and we will get 2 attendings to sign that this is an emergency, and we can proceed and do it, because I don't think we should wait any longer. Is it hurting you, babe? What's happening? Are you having pain now? Okay, we'll help you soon, okay? We're gonna make you feel better very soon, all right? We can't find anybody. We called, she gave us the phone number, we called, there's nobody there. Father apparently doesn't live there. So we need to get 2 attendings to sign.
Dr. Stringle doesn't want to wait any longer. By law, if 2 doctors sign this form documenting Sarah's critical condition, Dr. Stringle can remove the quarter without her mother's consent.
And then we just right here, I guess. Okay, ready to go? Let's push her up. Let's bring her up ourselves. I guess we go this way. Ready? Okay, thank you. See you later. If mother comes, just send her right up, all right? And then she can sign and we'll give her the coin back. Sarah is a very good patient. I think she's gonna be my best patient today. I couldn't hear what you said, babe.
If she can eat or drink after the operation.
Oh, yes, for sure. So where is Pam? Here's Sarah.
This videotape was shot with the same tiny fiber optic camera that Dr. Stringle is sliding down Sarah's throat.
Yes, we have a special scope, and we take it down through the swallowing tube, and then we just see where the coin is.
Once they've located the quarter, they remove the fiber optic camera and take out the coin.
It's 6:30 in the morning, and it's a little early for me. I'm not a morning person. I've been getting up before 6 o'clock for 11 years now, but I still never get used to it. Sometimes this is the only time I get to check my email is in the morning. And I always like checking it on Fridays because I get pictures of my nephew, Jason, emailed to me. So I always like to check my email on Friday mornings before I go to work because it helps me get through a long day. I get to look forward to seeing new pictures of him. There's no such thing as a typical day on staff flight. Our hours are 7 in the morning. Well, my hours are 7 in the morning till 7 at night. Staff flight's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Some days it can be relatively quiet and you may not do many calls, and other days you're non-stop all day long. Do we have a call?
Yes. The tooth is in the stomach? Okay. Hold on while I transfer you the ER attending. It's going to be Dr. Sachs today.
Because now there's two types of calls. We have one neonate call that we're the only ones in the area that are qualified to do it, and now we have an 8-year-old, and we're also especially trained for pediatrics, and they'd rather us do this call too. So now I have to see which one is worse and make a triage decision on which one we're going to go to. If there's two calls, can anyone else do one of these calls? For example, we're the only ones that are allowed to bring neonatal patients into this hospital. So there aren't any other agencies that can actually properly handle a call like that. So we will always do the call that no one else can do. Hi, Dr. Nigam. Hi, it's Debbie. Yeah, I just got report on this other child, and I'm going to need to do this call first. So I will as soon as we get back, we'll be on our way to get the other child.
Doctors say the neonatal case is not in critical condition. So Debbie decides to pick up the 8-year-old boy who's been having seizures all day.
I certainly will. All right, you got it. Thanks. Bye-bye. Okay. Okay, Dave, we'll get the doc.
Nurse Debbie Becker is bringing in an 8-year-old boy who's been having unexplained seizures.
Kids are always more challenging. Number one, you always have that human feeling that this is a child I'm working on. I don't want anything bad to happen to children. So that automatically, slips into gear whenever you're taking care of a child. You really have to be up on your skills and your knowledge of pediatrics because they are very different. They're not little adults, and they have to be managed quite differently.
Off the back there.
Guys, you have room in here for this 8-year-old? Yeah. The bed?
We have a bed.
No, this is the one from St. Luke's.
From St. Luke's, okay, this is the
Okay.
bed one?
Yeah.
Okay, we got that ready.
Okay.
He's not intubated, the one in work.
Watch your back.
The same story as this one.
This is an 8-year-old with a seizure disorder. His CO2 went up to 127, so they intubated him, and his gas was fine once they intubated him. There's a problem with the tube. They said it was a traumatic intubation. Initially, they thought the tooth, the incisor, was in the stomach, but the doctor says it might be behind the uvula there. I'm not really sure. It looks like there might be something on the X-ray.
Is that the thing that hangs down on the back of your head?
Yeah. It's like a good trivia question, He's had seizures in the past. He hasn't had any in a whole year. He was doing great till he had 3 today at school, got a total of 30 of Valium.
Is everyone ready?
Oh, everyone ready?
I think we need someone over there. 1, 2, 3.
After we spend time in the field with the patient and we've worked on them, it is sometimes very hard to leave that emergency room because you really want to know the outcome. You want to stay with them, and you want to know the results of that X-ray. You want to know, what's going on, what else are they going to do, and unfortunately we don't have that luxury.
Lateral decubitus.
Is this a tooth? That's what they were thinking was the tooth.
Yeah, it could be a tooth.
Okay.
Put suction on the nasogastric. Stomach is full of air.
Oh yes, we need to be ready, as quickly as we can to go on another call. So unfortunately, we don't have that luxury, and sometimes what we'll do is we'll get the helicopter together as fast as we can, and then, if nothing else is going on, run back to the ER and follow up with them.
See, the tube's fine, and then that one, it's perfect. Right.
And then the radio.
All right, we're going to be going out on another call.
So what do we have here? Here's a coin. It's a quarter. Actually, it's one of the new ones.
Dr. Stringle just removed this quarter from Sarah Thomas's throat.
Okay, so let's go and talk to the family, right?
You see a lot of cases like this?
Yes, unfortunately we do. It's rare to see them in this age group. We usually see them in infants. She's 9 years old already, so usually these coins will pass by themselves because the esophagus is larger in a child this age.
3 hours after Sarah arrived at Westchester Medical Center, her mother and brothers are finally here.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stringle. How are you doing? Sorry you couldn't. Who is down there? All right.
That's who you expect to swallow.
All right. Yes, exactly. So, how are you doing? Nice to meet you, sir. What's your name? What's your name? You don't have a name.
So did you witness the swallowing of the quarter?
Kinda. I was trying to get it out with the Heimlich maneuver because it was like stuck in her throat.
The Heimlich maneuver. Wow.
Yeah, she was running around saying it was stuck in her throat.
Show me what's the Heimlich maneuver.
It's like when you have a fist and like that, and you go like that.
Oh, okay. Where did you learn that?
School and the nurse.
Oh, it's a very smart kid.
Yeah, but I still didn't get told until this morning.
Uh-oh.
He goes,
It was right before I went to bed.
He goes, oh, I thought you already knew. You think if I knew she had a quarter stuck in her throat, I'd let her go to bed last night?
All right.
For more information, log on to our website.
So if you wait here for a few minutes, maybe, you can go, don't go inside, just stay here, and I'll come and get you in about maybe 5-10 minutes, and then you can go in to see her, all right?
What's the matter? You want to see Sarah? Yeah. Yeah, he wants to see Sarah. Don't point that thing at me.
Sort of concerned.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't have to die at 44 years old.
I don't plan to, so.
Okay, you're right.
Enough for the doom and gloom.
Thank you.
How's your belly feel? Is it getting better?
Ed Durkin has cirrhosis of the liver. He contracted it from a contaminated blood transfusion he received after a car accident. In the past few months, his health has gone dramatically downhill. His only chance of survival, getting a new liver.
So it's worse than it was a couple of days ago?
It's worse than it was yesterday.
Dr. Jim Piper says his time is running out.
You know, he told me, well, will I be dead in a month without a liver? Probably not. Will I be dead in a year without a liver? Probably.
He has a very rare blood type, which in a time of shortage can be a good thing because there's very few people competing for that same organ. But at the same time, there's very few organs that become available because it is a rare blood type.
Now your confusion, is that getting worse? I know you're getting more irritable.
Yeah.
Mr. Durkin, unfortunately, has had liver disease for a long time and has been basically in the last 6 weeks. You've been in the hospital eight or so times.
Yeah.
And just came to see us for the first time about a week and a half ago, and he clearly is pretty sick. His liver function is poor at best, and he really needs another liver.
Well, unfortunately, the reality is there are not enough organs to go around. And for that reason, almost 1 in 4, 1 in 5 people waiting for a liver right now will die without having to get one. And that's just the unfortunate reality of the situation.
Ed's diseased liver must be monitored 24 hours a day. He's stuck inside the hospital, where all he can do is wait.
I miss my wife. I even miss my kids arguing, you know, which I never thought I would say. But here it's so damn quiet, it's enough to, you know, make you crazy.
What's been the hardest part of all this?
Watching a really healthy man get sick. Sorry. I just think he's too young to die. We have a lot of things to do yet. So, that's hard.
Hey, Sarah.
Sarah, Mommy's here.
Sarah.
It's been 2 hours since Dr. Stringle removed the quarter Sarah swallowed.
I'm gonna wait till she's a little bit more awake and we'll give her something to drink. See how she does.
You feel better now? No?
She's hungry.
Yeah. They took it out. They tell you to take the quarter out? Yeah. Oh, you slept through the whole thing? You didn't wake up at all? I think that's a good thing. Yeah, your brother was worried about you. I'll be back tomorrow morning. That's gonna be interesting. So, she's gonna stay here, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna come back tomorrow and get her, okay? Is that okay with you? No? Oh, you want her to come with us? Yeah, you know what, she can come with us tomorrow, okay?
The next day, Sarah's feeling better and anxious to go home.
So how do you feel?
Good. I'm so happy that I ate.
You happy going home?
Yes.
And how did the quarter actually get in your mouth?
I put in there.
Now, were you afraid of getting in trouble?
Yes.
Well, you can tell me that. That's okay.
I was afraid I was going to get in trouble because I smiled.
Because I always tell you to keep stuff out of your mouth, don't I?
Yes. And, yes. And,
So did you learn anything from all this?
Actually, don't swallow a quarter.
Ed Durkin has been waiting 38 days for a liver. Inside this box is the answer to Ed's prayers. His wife Andrea is about to tell him a transplant donor has been found.
Hi.
You're gonna go. You're gonna go. I got it. It's okay.
Wow. Let me have a minute.
It is difficult to go through life day to day wondering, am I going to be that 1 out of 5 that doesn't even get the opportunity to get a transplant?
It's been 2 years of waiting. It's been a long road.
I still think it's 3.
It seems like forever. It does. God.
What's the donor's family you think about now?
Yeah. I know.
I was wondering if it was ever gonna happen. Now, it's just hard to believe.
It's gonna be fine. Oh, God. It's gonna be good. You're gonna be okay.
Just in time.
Good luck, buddy.
All right.
You want to get the stuff that's in his stomach? See you in a couple.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
Doctors prepare the donor organ for surgery while Ed waits. He's gotten good at that.
He was very fortunate. Within
you know, a couple of weeks of being elevated to the highest status, there was an organ available of his same blood type, and he got one fairly rapidly. But I think he was extremely lucky to get an organ in the amount of time it took. When things are going well in the operating room, I guess I tend to be more relaxed. As things, like any surgeon, when things aren't going well, you seem to be more tense and uptight.
You know how to download pictures from a digital camera onto a computer? I just got a new digital camera, and for the life of me, I can't. I'm serious. I can't figure out how to use this damn program. Knife, please. We're going to be ready for bypass in about less than 10 minutes. Okay, bad liver out. There's the ugly one. Here's what we're going to need. We're going to need 2 to 3 double arm 4-0s next. Okay, and then we're going to need a whole bunch of single-arm 4-0s. We're going to need at least 4.
Within minutes, Dr. Piper will sew the new liver into Ed's chest.
Oh, this is not going to be an easy one. You can see it's brown there. When we take the clamp off now, if you watch, it's going to start turning red. You see how it's starting to turn red, and it's going to start pinking up. Warm stuff, please. You know, it's a nice liver, and he should do just fine. Okay.
Thank you now.
All right. So
this is wonderful.
yeah,
It's a new start.
It is. It is, and hopefully now he'll be able to stay out of the hospital for more than 1 to 2 days at a time.
We're going.
Debbie Becker, a stat flight nurse for almost 5 years, has rescued more than 100 people.
Okay, we're going for a 21-year-old. I don't really know the mechanism of injury, but it was a trauma from last night and isn't doing very well at all. Blood pressure's 80. He's got fluids open wide, has a possible aortic dissection, and hemothorax. So it's actually the level 2 trauma center, St. Francis. We're going to be going to take him down to Westchester to level 1, probably due to the chest trauma, because that's something that level 2 trauma centers can't handle. Staff flight is definitely more than I thought it would be, in some positive ways and some negative ways. It's not just the glory that you see every day. Oh, the helicopters going up and down and flying around. You don't realize what you're in for is, in so many ways, as far as the terrible things that you might see and the agony and tragedy that you see. My family, my parents especially, my mother, she certainly worries about me all the time. I know that.
Life is precious, and this job makes you not take any single second for granted, because we go to things all the time that 1 minute someone's listening to the radio, smoking a cigarette out the car, and the next minute we're coming to pick them up.
Debbie and the crew set out to pick up a man who needed specialized care. But when they got there, it was too late.
Unfortunately, the patient expired, so there's no need for us to transport. This was a 21-year-old guy who had a very high blood alcohol level, smashed into a wall. He had a very prolonged extrication, I think over half-hour extrication. He had massive chest injuries to his aorta, which is a very bad sign. So also massive head trauma. So we went in just to make sure that they didn't revive him, because if they did, then we would need to transport him, but they had just called the code when we got there.
It's a shame.
We're usually called for the sickest of the sick patients. We do have patients that do die. You have to realize that You know, even though you have all this advanced training and all this advanced, you know, skill, and we do have the fastest mode of transportation, that we aren't God and that we can't save everybody.
You got to get all that junk coughed up, okay? Big squeeze.
Less than 24 hours ago, Ed Durkin thought he might die. Now, he has a new liver and a chance to live.
And this is your morphine, sweetie, all right?
So when you have pain, you push the button. Okay? Okay.
Dr. Pfeiffer,
Here.
I don't know how to thank you.
No, you're doing great. Get better. That's how you can thank us, okay? Get better.
I don't know what to say.
No, I know it's an emotional time. You've been through a lot in the last 24 hours, but you hang in there. You're not even 24 hours out from your transplant, okay? It was yesterday about this time you were just going in, actually, so hang in there.
I just don't know what to say to you.
No, just get better. Okay?
I don't know how to thank you.
You're doing fine. All right. We'll let your wife come back in.
I want to volunteer. Anytime to speak.
Okay. Well, right now, what you got to do right now is get better. So right now, you just got to worry about getting yourself better, okay?
All right.
All right. Hang in there.
Yeah.
Hang in there. Pretty watery, huh?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Thank you.
I've talked to your wife a couple of times. Your whole family's out there, I think. Okay. Tomorrow we'll get you up to the floor if you keep doing this well. Okay. Whenever a physician does something, they kind of anticipate a good outcome. And so when we get a good outcome, I don't think it elicits the joyous high that one might anticipate. In reality, when things go well, you go, that's the way it's supposed to work. Okay. We'll see you a little later. I'll be back this afternoon to see how you're doing, okay?
All right.
All right. We'll see you later. All right.
He was much appreciative.
Yeah.
Did you get through a lot?
Yeah. You know, it's a real emotional time. It really is. It's a real roller coaster. It's a big operation. People are scared to death going in. They come out, and you know, it's a real emotional time. Plus the fact, unfortunately, you know, somebody died in order for him to live.
It was it's emotional because as soon as the transplant is over, you start to think about the donor's family. But I pray about it. And it was just a decision that their family made. And like, I thought the limit said to me, you know, when a door closes, a window opens.